think I see some rock art right here. Oh yeah, there's definitely something right there. I can see the windows, everything. Everything. Along the interior here we've got these white dots which almost seem to signify each day, and then there are the two notches which could be markers for full moons or new moons. It goes into this snake which could be a sign of a skinwalker, and then down it continues on down into the main room as if more days, more moons. Not sure what it could mean. Well, I spent the day going back around this cliff wall here, back down toward the river. I don't think that right through here was a common way to travel, because I don't see any rock art telling me which way to go or anything like that. I think if you came up this way it was for leisure or for hunting or for something like that, so there's probably taking a break here in the shade for a few minutes. Hot out. Draining. Now this is interesting. I was just following these deer tracks, but then I stumbled across these tracks. That's not a deer. That's a mountain lion. It's got claws, little claws in there. And he might be right up in these trees, I'm guessing. This would be a great place for a kitty cat. Luckily there's fresh mud here, so I know who my neighbors are. What a beautiful vantage point. I just had to stop and get a quick shot of this just because it's beautiful. Oh, it's so nice out now that it's cooled down. Feels so good. Okay. Well, we're just about to the end of this rock. If there's nothing here, then so be it. I'll have checked. Takes a lot of checking to find something. Here is the full scene. I'm not sure what era this is from. There's one guy down here on the left. Looks like he's dead. He's laying down with an arrow through his head. I'll get in a little closer on him. This guy's got a gun. This guy, that almost looks like a sound resonating behind him. And, you know, kind of gives the impression of a gun going off. Here's another guy with a cowboy hat looking thing. Something else here. One more scene I just noticed here. It looks like an Indian, couple of Indians and a horse with bows. And this guy, he could be a bow and arrow, but I just think it looks like a gunshot going off is the impression I get. If that were an icon. Here's one more. A guy looks like he's got a Mexican style hat and a gun maybe, and one down here, a guy shooting back with an arrow. Alright, I found a little trail here, and it might be going back to something, because I figure it doesn't just go to nowhere, right? It's not an animal trail, it's a people trail. Now, we're going to head right back over to there in those cliffs areas. So I'm going to have to put the camera away to go through this brush. Pretty thick in there. Wow, look at this one I stumbled across. Absolutely amazing. And very much intact. More so than most. Ooh. This is beautiful. Haha! Found something. That's what we've been looking for. Go take a closer look here. Awesome. There's steps and everything going right up to it. Let's go have a look. Ooh, there's a granary, it looks like, several rooms. Oh, very awesome. Just found this very large ruin here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Just kind of have a look around. I'll try to get as good a picture as I can. That's cool. Entrance up into there. Right behind me is this circular structure, and it's got smoke or soot buildup in there. Something. Looks like used for a fire for some reason. I don't know the purpose of it. Let me give you a little look around this place. Really big ruin here. I'm just going to go up onto this first rock here. Not touching any walls, but I want to get a look at this rock art. That might represent the river, might represent a snake. I'm really not sure. I'll show you the way up here. There's a little staircase there coming up, and it goes into another staircase there. This is the best ruin I've seen, the most intact on this trip anyway. Quite a structure. Underneath this rock I found a few pieces of old corn, and up top I noticed there's a grinding spot that somebody's been using. There's a closer look inside that fire pit or granary. I'm not sure. It's had fire in there though. I like this ruin in particular because it's the first one that I found when I was out looking for some ruins that I wanted to find one, and I discovered this, and I looked off in the distance and I thought, is that a ruin? And I wasn't sure till I was really close. A lot of the time they're just so hard to determine if it's even, is that just some rocks that fell, or are they stacked? Anyway, let's go take a look. Now right here, something that I notice a lot of people doing that kind of bothers me, really bothers me. Right here, there's a good chance that there's pottery and all kinds of artifacts right where I'm standing. We're still a good distance away from here, but it falls downhill and it works its way downhill. There could be stuff all down here. My point is, I like to watch my step as I'm walking up to the ruins, and I don't really even get in the ruins. You don't really get a good shot from inside. People have tried. They don't look good. They look better from outside. So do the right thing. Don't mess up the artifacts or the ruins. Watch your step. Tread lightly. Okay. This one I think is a little bit older because of the fact that it's darker. I might be wrong, but that to me means there's some desert varnish buildup on there, some minerals that have collected. These newer ones like John, who wanted everybody to know who fucked it up, you can see his is real, light colored. So His won't look like that for a long time. Unfortunately, his is the brighter one that you probably noticed first. Some of them are really hard to see because there's no color difference, but those are some of the oldest ones, up to 10,000 years old in this area. Should we demonstrate these Moki steps? I'll give it a shot. They can be tricky, for sure. Huh? You gotta be ready, I suppose. Okay, now when I get to this level, I really start watching my step. I'm wearing really good shoes for it. But if I even break this rock down here, with time, it eventually will be the destruction of all the ruin above it. So, I'm gonna carefully walk on some of this stronger rock. And there's some fragile rock over there I'm probably not gonna go on to. There's no reason to. Where I'm standing is good solid rock, and I'm in a good place. Over here, you can see the rock is cracking. Every time somebody walks on there, another crack, another little sandstone. Sandstone breaks really easily, of course. So there's a solid portion right there. I could probably step across, and I'd probably kneel down right there and get my shot. Probably climb right back here. Well, I think these are a couple of little granaries. Now I do see some scat, some turds in there. So that means there probably used to be grain in there. There's a piece of bone. A couple bones. Yeah, who knows what else is in there. And a pot of gold. A leprechaun left in there. Well, we've pretty much chosen our camp here. Karl's kind of partial to camping right on the beach in the sand. I'm a little in favor of going up underneath those cottonwood trees for the morning shade and the solid ground and proximity to wood. I don't know, either one's going to be a nice camping spot for us tonight. Or spiders or whatever, you know. They do have tarantulas and a few other things, not commonly, but I kind of do like this as I go through the stuff and get the spider webs from getting on my face and stuff too. I'll tell you one thing, sure is hot out here. Really hot. I want to get in some shade. We're going up this wash where I think I'm going to find something. It'll take me about an hour. Definitely something up that hill. You see those steps? Those steps are not natural. There's another set you can barely see over here. Right off in the distance there. That's a way to get somewhere. Now about these steps, sometimes the Indians made them so that you'd, if you didn't start off on the right foot, you'd get halfway or so up and you'd have trouble and fall and have to go back down or whatever. So I'm going to try to start off on the right foot and go up those and see what's up there. There's got to be something, right? There's about 4 different ways up this thing. I'm suspecting the one behind me is the best one, but there's a really cool looking one up here. There's another little one. But this one, see, this one only goes part way. But look at those steps. Isn't that awesome? I think I'll go for that far one. It looks like it makes it all the way. Actually, I changed my mind. I'm going to go for this one right here. Because it looks like you only go up a little ways. I'm going to try to bring my camera, bring you guys along for the ride. You gotta be careful in this area of snakes. Oh, that's a nice cactus. Okay, now I've either got to climb to that or go to that other one. Either one's just as steep, but I can tell you right now, there's no way I'm bringing my camera. This part's gonna be rough. found some more rock art right on this panel. It's really hard to see, but there is a huge panel of rock art here. I don't know how well you can see this, but right here is one of those circle things, a spiral. Some say that has shamanistic, religious type, spiritual type connotations that go along with it. I'm not sure. But this one's hard to see. Some of these look like they're a little bit better preserved than some of the others. And this is a nice little panel. This, I don't know if that's a man. That's an anthropomorphic looking being to me. Something else here. I don't know. This is a very popular figure right here, and as is this one. That bighorn sheep right there, those are in the area. I wish that some of these are so faint you can barely see them. But if they were all still here, I bet you they tell a story. I bet they tell a big story. Ooh, here's a nice anthropomorphic one. There's so much pottery here on the ground that I need to be careful that I don't step on it. And the way I do that is by stepping on rocks. Here's a nice piece. I found a really nice arrowhead here. You can tell by the notches in it that that's what it was. And then there's some pottery here of one style, maybe Navajo, maybe ancestral Puebloan here. A couple of pieces. Right behind me, I hope you can see alright, some rock art just found. These are anthropomorphic, meaning they represent godlike figures, supposedly. Something used to be there. You can see those 3 holes in the rock. It looks like a log would have fit in there, like a platform or something. And we're not sure, but I think this used to be like an amphitheater type location, someplace you could gather a lot of people. There are some shamanistic, what do they call them, anthropomorphic rock art figures up here. The evening time you can see them the best. First time I came past here, it was in the broad daylight. I walked right past them, didn't even see it, and I was looking for it. Came back in the evening time, and that's when I was able to see it more easily, and I noticed it. Right here we just docked up at the Butler Wash petroglyph panel. This is one of the bigger anthropomorphic displays that we've got of some rock art here on the San Juan. It's beautiful. There we go.